Hi everyone. We're going to look at some different courts in this module. And we're first going to talk about the drug court module. The drug court model. The drug court model is a rehabilitative model of court which is set up to address somebody's underlying drug addiction. And maybe that drug addiction manifests itself in an arrest for mere possession of narcotics. Sometimes it may also manifest itself in the actual sale of narcotics. Sometimes individuals who are addicted to drugs will engage in the sale of narcotics in order to support their drug habit. So the drug court model is designed to address those addictions in order to prevent further arrests, and sometimes to prevent an individual from obtaining a criminal record for their drug addiction, or the post-conviction model, which I will discuss in a moment. First, the pre-conviction program, again, is designed to avoid an individual from obtaining a criminal conviction. One of the ways that the drug court model does this, an individual goes into drug court after a determination that their offense is minor in nature and based strictly on their addiction. Once they go into that court, you have a dedicated judge who is in the courtroom, a dedicated prosecutor, and individuals who work in drug treatment programs. Now, when I say the judge is a dedicated judge and the prosecutor is a dedicated prosecutor, the judge and the prosecutor are assigned to that courtroom for a period of time, usually anywhere from 1 to 2 years. And the prosecutor and the judge follow an individual who was placed into the drug court. And normally the defendant must agree to enter an inpatient drug treatment program. And they must agree to come back to court on certain dates that are set by the court and have their progress in the programs monitored. Two things can happen during those monitoring sessions. One, if the person is not performing well, the person might be sent to jail for 1 to 2 weeks, then brought back out, then placed back in a rehabilitation program. And if the defendant completes this court program, usually lasting anywhere from 6 months to 1 year, if they successfully complete that program by following the conditions of drug treatment and sometimes additional steps that they must follow, for instance, obtaining their GED or obtaining and maintaining full-time employment. If they're successful, one of two things will happen. Either the charges will be dismissed like they never happened and the individual ends up with a clean record, or if it's not the person's first arrest, maybe they are convicted but placed on a period of probation and avoid incarceration. Now, the post-conviction program is just what it sounds like. The person enters a guilty plea and they are sentenced to a jail term. However, before they go to jail, they're afforded the opportunity to also go to inpatient drug treatment program, have their case monitored similar to the pre-conviction program. Conditions are also placed on them, such as they not pick up any new arrests, not to be associated with individuals that they may have been arrested with, not to go to certain locations, and also either obtain and maintain full-time employment or finish their education, either a GED or obtain some type of college degree. If they are successful in those steps, their case is also monitored for up to a year. And if the person successfully completes the treatment program, their charges are not dismissed. However, they may be sentenced to probation instead of having to serve the period of incarceration that they were sentenced to. This type of rehabilitative model of justice is normally used for nonviolent offenders, persons that have drug addiction problems, and they are screened to ensure that, number one, they do have a drug addiction, and number two, that they are willing to participate in this program. It is a big risk because sometimes people are sentenced to up to 5 or more years in prison. And if they don't complete the program in the post-conviction program, there is no choice. They immediately begin serving their jail sentence. So it kind of dangles a carrot in front of people. If you're serious about treatment and you're serious about not reoffending, here is a program for you. However, if you fail to do what you're supposed to do, you're going to be guaranteed a certain jail sentence. And then they would be monitored when they got out of jail on a period of probation to ensure that they do the right thing, to ensure that they get continued treatment, to ensure that they not associate with known persons who are selling drugs, or by going to locations where drugs are bought and sold. So it's an attempt to gain all of the, satisfy all of the objectives of the criminal justice system. Punishment by going to inpatient drug treatment program, rehabilitation by forcing them to complete a period of drug treatment, and avoiding going to jail. And that is good for the criminal justice system in two ways. Number one, we really want to rehabilitate people. We don't want them to continue offending. Number two, our prisons are overcrowded with non-violent drug offenders, which take up positions in jails and prisons for persons who are violent. So if we can reduce our prison population, we can save money, we can maintain cells that are available for violent offenders, which is really the focus of the criminal justice system, and provide an individual with an attempt to rehabilitate themselves and become productive members of society. So that's the drug treatment, or I'm sorry, the drug court model. Thank you.